Hello. I have a question. What is the 80-20 principle? What is the 80-20 principle and how do we apply it to real life in anything we are doing? If you are studying, how do you apply the 80-20 principle? If you are doing finance, how do you apply the 80-20 principle? The 80-20 principle is what is called the Pareto Principle. The Pareto Principle. It's actually trying to say that if you do your best 20% of the time, then the results, the 80% of the time, or the other time will come out very well. So if you do the best for 80% of the time, 20% of the time, and the other 80% will actually come out well. Suppose you are studying, suppose maybe you are doing mathematics, and 20% of the time you do the good job. Then 80% of the time, the result will be very good. I'm going to apply finance here. Suppose 20% of the time you are actually studying finance, financial education, and you do your best saving, you do your best budgeting, making sure that you are following the budgets. You do your best with your credit cards and you know how your money is going out and coming in. You cut your spending, make sure that you spend money, majority of your money, 50% of the time. Remember, we talked about 50, 30, 20, that 50% of the time is spent on your needs and 20% on your 30% on your wants and 20% in savings. 50, 30, 20. 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. Suppose you follow that judiciously. The Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, that's the Pareto principle, says that um, you are doing really well if you focus on the 20%. That actually means that the result will come out good if you can you're doing your best 20% of the time. Your result, it applies in everything in real life. So we're talking about finance. Your result will actually be good because you are 20% of the time you are making sure that you are not overspending, you are not an impulsive buyer. You know, you are documenting all the expenses, you know how the money is going out and coming in. You are making sure that your credit cards, you buy the things that you actually need and not when they say that something is on sale, you go ahead and buy them because if they're on sale, do you actually need them? That they're on sale doesn't mean you need them. Suppose you do have a lot of them. Why do you have to go and buy another one just because it's on sale? Okay, so the 80-20 principle, the Pareto principle says that if you apply it to your finance, saving 20% of the time, making sure that everything is in order, your spending is in a CVS file, making sure that you know where the money is going out and coming in. And if you have a business, you also make sure that you do your best. Selective learning, you select the things you want. If it is learning about finance, networking with people who are doing the same thing, making sure that you're keeping friends who are going the same direction you're going, people who are thinking like you, like-minded people, networking with people 20% of the time, that you are doing continuous evaluation of what you are planning, even if it's whatever you're doing in real life. The 80-20 principle says that even if it is only 20% of the time that you're doing your best, the other 80% will come out well. So, if you focus, if your mindset and habits are good 20% of the time, and it means that the other 80% actually, you will be doing very well. That's what we mean by 80-20, Pareto Principle. Simplifying complexities. When things are complex, you choose the ones that are more important. If you have a complex uh, schedule, then you choose 20% of them that are going to yield you the best result. The 80-20 principle that we're talking about today, the 80-20 principle says that if you do very well 20% of the time, the other 80% will come out good. So remember, we talked about 80-20 principle today, the Pareto principle. All right. Good night. Have a good night.